Hi everyone and welcome back to the Impact series done in collaboration with Encubay with the TheCapitalNet TV. Today we have with us the founders of our partners Encubay in order to understand how the community building aspect works for the startup and investment ecosystem and how it will fare for the women founders that are thriving within it. With that, let's jump into the video. So obviously a natural extension of understanding the need for the community and obviously the kind of beautiful community that Encubay is creating. If Deeksha, you can tell us a little bit about the key markers that you sort of look at when you see a potential growth startup that you're looking at.
So we typically look at companies that have at least one female in the founding team with, equal or majority stake. Companies that are innovative, solving for real world problems, scalable, sustainable, investable businesses, and companies where the founders are very, very passionate and are visionaries, right? I think at an early stage, business markers are very tough to determine or judge a success of a company from, but what you can always bank on is the founder conviction, right? So that's sort of, our criteria at Encubay. And at the same time, we want to back companies and sectors that are daring, whether it is, anything in health, anything in sustainability, consumer side, Web3, all of these, new and emerging sectors are where we really, really want to back female founders because I feel like they can really, really create a dent.
And obviously, as a natural extension, I feel when we're having conversation about community building, especially in a context where there is diversity that is involved, there have to be challenges that come into play, right? Like with sort of partnerships, sort of the reach outs that we are going to do. So maybe if we can just look at, if you can just elucidate a few of the challenges that are just there, whether it is risk mitigation or whether it is fund deployment, do you think are the key challenges that if there's somebody looking to create a community or somebody who's looking to come to become a part of a community, what are the challenges that sort of come to play in such a scenario?
Yes. So let me sort of answer this in terms of the challenges that Encubay faced, when we sort of launched and what we also face now, though I feel like we've been able to overcome some successfully. The first thing is, when we sort of looked at who else is doing this, anything around women was always termed at charity or not for profit. Eashita mentioned this. We don't think investing and working with women is a charity. It is a $3 trillion business opportunity, to be precise, as quoted by Morgan Stanley in a study last year. So, changing the mindset of people that, we're not charitable, but this is very much for profit, because we truly believe that, diversity and innovation are, the future of the world here. So that mindset change. Secondly, I think just getting all the other stakeholders in the ecosystem to understand why diversity is important, why it is linked to innovation, why it is the future, has been challenging, right? Like to convince funds or to convince other corporates that yes, we do need to run these programs, you do need to partner, we do need to be very vocal about involving more women, because sometimes for them they're like, oh, it doesn't matter if an entrepreneur is a man or woman, we just care about the idea and the profit. But that's kind of untrue, because in the long term, your composition of your company does have a direct impact, right? And I think lastly, the challenge is that unfortunately we are still we are minority, we are niche. So a lot of what we do is categorized as niche, but I think, soon we are going to be hitting, being mainstream, right? And that's why we have very naturally progressed into, in the investing ecosystem too, right? Where we launched the Encubay Angel Investing Network with the intention of getting more women to invest in women and thereby creating more capital in the economy. So I think, these are some of the challenges that we faced, but we don't look at challenges as roadblocks ever. We're always ever evolving, and, I think challenges are faced every day.
And as you said, it's not a roadblock, it's just a new opportunity, a new way to figure things out forward. So coming to that in the forward part of things, Eashita, maybe you can weigh in on this. What do you think is going to be the future like for a community which is led by women? And what do you think are the emerging trends that sort of need to be, integrated into this community that is?
Sure. Thanks, Apoorva. So, I would say one, the future is going to be a lot more hybrid community. I feel like as Encubay, we were very fortunate that we started in 2020 when the pandemic had hit. A lot of businesses were affected. A lot of businesses were very offline dependent. We were fortunately thriving at that time because the only life we knew was virtual. All we needed was a laptop, stable internet, and a plug point. And even today, that is what it is. Of course, when the world opened up, we did start doing a lot of offline interaction. And today, we understand the entire hybrid model that is there for communities. The future of communities, also, like we mentioned during our conversation, is going to be diversity, not women, but I would like to say that someday what Encubay does become redundant, and Deeksha and I can be like, okay, what are we going to be cracking next? Because there are enough, women, and there's enough gender diversity in the startup ecosystem. What I see as trends, and actually something that I have personally jumped into in the last, 4 to 6 weeks, is the world of Web3. So I think what I see is that at Encubay, the Encubay Angel Network, we've been talking about it, and everyone else has been talking about, okay, not enough women in the startup ecosystem. There is a gap. Let's fill it. Not enough women in the investment ecosystem. Let's fill that through knowledge and assisting them angel invest. But today I've realized through multiple meetups, through doing an entire course on, the fundamentals of Web3, learning it myself, I've realized that the entire industry over there is a lot more decentralized, but also degendered. And the focus at Encubay is that when we say that we look at gender diversity and women founders, or look out for founders in general, is the minute we see an opportunity, we jump in over there.
Yeah. And I think with that, thank you so much, Eashita. Thank you so much, Deeksha. Thank you so much for taking our time and creating a community where we can feel that we belong, and there would be somebody who will be able to take it forward and, just as you said, creating community so that maybe 10 years down the line, we might not need this community. So with that, thank you.